Every year, millions of old shoes disappear from people's homes and end up somewhere most of us never think about. But Nike does something unexpected with many of those shoes. They destroy them. Not because they are useless, but because they have a plan. Those worn-out shoes are broken down and transformed into something completely different. Surfaces that athletes around the world train and compete on. Nike sells hundreds of millions of pairs of shoes every year, but eventually every shoe reaches the end of its life. Most shoes end up in landfills where materials like rubber and foam can take decades to break down. A pair of athletic shoes thrown away today could remain in the environment long after we are gone. But in the early 1990s, two Nike employees decided there had to be a better solution. They wanted to find a way to recycle old athletic shoes and give them a second life. The challenge was simple to understand but incredibly difficult to solve. There was no machine in the world that could separate and recycle the different materials inside a shoe. So Nike had to build one, and what they created changed the way old shoes could be reused. Inside the Nike grind recycling process is a technology that took years to develop. It became one of the most important parts of the entire system, and it is the reason Nike has been able to produce high-quality recycled materials at a large scale. Many companies have tried to create similar solutions, but matching the same level of performance has been extremely difficult. To understand how it works, we need to follow the journey of a shoe from the moment it is collected. The process begins when someone drops an old pair of athletic shoes into a recycling collection bin. Nike collects shoes from thousands of locations around the world, and the program accepts athletic shoes from different brands, not just Nike. After collection, the shoes are transported to specialized processing facilities where the transformation begins. Inside these facilities, the shoes are not simply crushed together. Instead, they are carefully separated. Each shoe is divided into three main parts: the outsole, which is the rubber part that touches the ground, the midsole, which contains the foam cushioning, and the upper part, which includes materials like fabric, mesh, and synthetic materials. Each section has different properties, so keeping them separate is essential for creating quality recycled material. After separation, each material goes through its own process. The rubber outsole enters powerful industrial shredders that break it down into smaller pieces. Those pieces then move through another grinding process that turns them into tiny rubber granules. The foam from the midsole requires a different approach because it reacts differently than rubber. Instead of being crushed, it is cut into smaller pieces that can later be used for cushioning applications. The fabric and other upper materials are shredded into fibers that can be used in different products. But there is one major challenge. Shoes are not made from clean, simple materials. They contain layers of rubber, foam, fabric, adhesives, and other components that are bonded together. When these materials are broken apart, unwanted pieces can remain mixed with the recycled rubber. If those contaminants are not removed, the final material becomes weaker and less reliable. At first, washing the material might seem like the obvious solution, but water creates another problem. Moisture can affect how recycled rubber bonds together, reducing the strength and quality of the final surface. So Nike needed a completely different approach. They needed a way to separate materials without using water. That solution came through a specialized vibration screening system. The machine uses carefully controlled vibrations to separate materials based on their differences in density. The heavier rubber particles move differently from lighter foam and adhesive particles. Through this precise process, unwanted materials are removed while keeping the recycled rubber clean and consistent. This technology is one of the key reasons Nike grind materials can meet the standards required for professional athletic surfaces. After processing, the recycled materials are carefully tested. Different sizes of rubber granules are used for different purposes. Some become part of running tracks. Others are used for basketball courts, playground surfaces, and synthetic sports fields. The foam materials can be used for cushioning layers, while fibers from the upper materials can be used in products such as insulation and carpet underlay. Over time, this recycling program has transformed millions of pounds of discarded shoe material into useful resources. But perhaps the most interesting part is what happens to the shoes we once considered finished. That old pair of shoes sitting in your closet may have already done everything you ever asked of it. It carried you through early morning runs, long walks, intense workouts, busy commutes, and countless ordinary days that probably didn't seem memorable at the time. It absorbed thousands of impacts with every step you took, protecting your feet and helping you move comfortably through your daily life. Over time, the tread wears down, the cushioning becomes thinner, the fabric begins to fray, and the support that once felt so comfortable slowly disappears. Eventually, you decide it's time for a new pair. For most of us, that's where the story ends. The old shoes are tossed into the trash, forgotten in the back of a closet, or left sitting in a garage collecting dust. It's easy to think they've reached the end of their useful life, but what if they haven't? What if that worn-out pair still has one more purpose to serve? When a shoe enters Nike's recycling program, it begins an entirely new journey. Instead of becoming landfill waste, it moves through a carefully engineered process designed to recover the valuable materials hidden inside it. The shoe is separated into its individual components, processed, cleaned, and transformed into high-quality recycled materials. The rubber, the foam, and the fabric each take a different path, eventually becoming part of something entirely new. The rubber that once helped you grip the pavement during your morning run could become part of an athletic track where future champions train every day. The foam that cushioned your steps could help absorb impact beneath a playground where children spend countless hours running and playing. Even the fabric that once wrapped around your feet can find a second life in products designed for completely different purposes. It's a remarkable transformation. Something that was once considered worn out and worthless becomes a valuable resource all over again. This idea is what Nike refers to as a circular economy. Engineers often describe it as closed-loop material flow, where materials are recovered, reused, and kept in circulation instead of being discarded. The goal isn't simply to recycle, it's to extend the life of materials for as long as possible, reducing waste while creating products that continue to serve people in new ways. When you look at it that way, an old shoe is no longer just an old shoe. It's a collection of materials with the potential to begin another chapter. The next time you see a professional athlete sprinting down a track, playing on a court, or training on a modern sports surface, there's a chance that somewhere beneath their feet is a small piece of rubber that once belonged to someone else's favorite pair of running shoes. Most people will never notice it. The cameras won't focus on it. The commentators won't talk about it. But it's there, quietly proving that something we often see as waste can still have value. Sometimes the end of one journey is simply the beginning of another. So the next time you replace a pair of shoes, take a moment to think about where the old pair could end up. Would you throw them away, or would you give them the opportunity to become something new? Let us know in the comments, have you ever recycled an old pair of athletic shoes? And what brand is your most worn pair right now?